1996, Quantum Leap Year. Instead of an extra day, you get extra lifetimes. The Quantum Leap Year Marathon, Thursday, February 29th.
Your name is Maxwell Stoddard, Henry Adams.
You're a blood-sucking ghoul from hell!
Actually, I'm Scott Bakula, and I'm hosting the Sci-Fi Channel's Quantum Leap Year Marathon. Hours of leaping from lifetime to lifetime. The Quantum Leap Year Marathon on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Thursday, February 29th, beginning at 9 a.m.
Welcome to the Sci-Fi Channel's Quantum Leap Marathon. I'm your host, Scott Bakula. I play Dr. Sam Beckett, who took a quantum leap through time. Every leap was an amazing adventure, and this episode marks the first time Sam leaps into an historical figure. And what a figure. Lee Harvey Oswald, the accused assassin of President Kennedy. Oh boy. This was a controversial two-part episode and a fascinating one. It includes a scene where Oswald meets a fellow Marine named Don Belisario, who later became the creator of Quantum Leap. That meeting actually happened. You'll see that scene and much more as you watch Lee Harvey Oswald. Some Quantum Leap background. I play time leaper Dr. Sam Beckett. I'm assisted by my friend Al, and we're both helped by Ziggy, a parallel hybrid computer which Sam built in the future at Project Quantum Leap. Al's colorful and noisy handling lets him use Ziggy to figure out our mission and calculate the odds as to whether we can change history. Now, back to the first of the two-part Quantum Leap episode entitled Lee Harvey Oswald. I'm Scott Bakula, Dr. Sam Beckett on Quantum Leap. When Sam leaps through time and becomes another person, he's understandably a little confused and disoriented. But he's still himself and in control of his actions. Well, this time it's different. Sam's memories and personality have blended with those of Lee Harvey Oswald.
What if I assassinate the president? You're not going to assassinate the president?
Sam has good reason to be worried. If he doesn't gain the upper hand, it will be Sam and not Oswald who's responsible for one of the greatest crimes of the century. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues with Lee Harvey Oswald. When Sam leaps into the past, the person he replaces ends up in the future, in the waiting room at Project Quantum Leap. That's a place we rarely see. But this time, Sam has replaced Lee Harvey Oswald, and the waiting room scenes are important to the story.
I want a lawyer. There's no lawyer here. There's just me and you and the truth.
Naturally, Sam and Al are desperate to prevent one of the great tragedies of the 20th century in this very special episode of Quantum Leap. I'm Scott Bakula. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Channel's Quantum Leap Marathon. On Quantum Leap, I had the pleasure of working with different actors on every episode. Many of our guest stars went on to have very successful careers of their own. Jason Priestley now stars on Beverly Hills 90210. You know Terry Hatcher from Lois and Clark. I guess they lost my phone number. But on this episode, our guest was already a star, Brooke Shields. In Leaping of the Shrew, the writers took some liberties with Shakespeare's story to portray a misunderstood woman and a foolish man who can't see that they are actually in love. But fortunately, this leap finds Brooke and Sam on a desert island. And as you'll see, the sun, sea, and surf make an ideal setting for romance. If you're looking for a perfect companion on a desert island, you couldn't do any better than Brooke Shields. I know, because I've looked. Not long ago, Brooke tackled a brand new acting challenge on Broadway when she took over the role of the tough-talking Rizzo in the musical Grease. From all reports, she really made the role her own and drew sellout crowds for the length of her run. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. In this episode, the Mediterranean Sea was actually the back lot at Universal Studios. But I'm here to tell you, the mud you'll see was real mud. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Most episodes of Quantum Leap had several guest stars, but this show had our smallest cast ever. There are only 2 people on this beautiful island, unless you count Al, as our Quantum Leap marathon continues. I'm Scott Bakula, and welcome to this special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Dr. Sam Beckett takes every leap very seriously, as do I. In this next episode, I play a wheelchair-bound Vietnam veteran whose life seems about to fall apart. Then in comes a striking, dark-haired beauty with a heart of gold and a very familiar face. Today we know her as Rachel in the hit comedy Friends. She's Jennifer Aniston, and the episode is Nowhere to Run. In addition to his medical degree, my character Sam Beckett has 5 doctorates, including quantum physics, ancient languages, music, but unfortunately not psychology. That's the one he needs most right about now as our Quantum Leap Marathon continues. Dean Stockwell's character Al often supplies me with insights that help me save the day. In this episode, Al's experience in Vietnam helps Sam to appreciate the injured veterans all around him. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues. I'm Scott Bakula. Quantum Leap fans love to debate the fine points of time travel. For example, some fans wonder whether it's only Sam Beckett's mind that leaps back into time, or does his body also go along for the ride? Well, you're watching the episode that settles that question once and for all, and in a most amazing way. Or does it? Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues with Nowhere to Run here on the Sci-Fi Channel.
1996, leap year, and the planet is getting 1 extra day. But at the Sci-Fi Channel, it's Quantum Leap year, and instead of 1 more day, you get extra lifetimes.
Your name is Maxwell Stoddard Henry Adams. You're a blood-sucking ghoul from hell!
It's a Quantum Leap year marathon hosted by Scott Bakula.
I've been here before.
The Quantum Leap year marathon on the Sci-Fi Channel continues next.
Hi, I'm Scott Bakula, and welcome to this special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. In every episode of Quantum Leap, we get to visit the past, along with my character, Dr. Sam Beckett. But don't forget, while Sam is leaping around in time, his friend Al is in the future trying to get Sam back home. This episode offers a special treat. We get a look at the world outside of Project Quantum Leap in Al's present time, 1999. Sit back and relax. The episode is Killin' Time. Gushy is the programmer for Ziggy, the computer at Project Quantum Leap. He was played by Dennis Wolfberg, who was already famous as a stand-up comedian. Dennis brought a lot of life to Gushy, and he sure made us laugh. We were all very saddened when he died of cancer in 1994. He's greatly missed by the fans of Quantum Leap, and especially by those of us fortunate enough to have known him. A fund was established to help Dennis's children. I'll give you the address when I return. Earlier, I mentioned the fund to help the children of our late colleague, Dennis Wolfberg. Many Quantum Leap fans have made donations. If you'd like to help, write Wolfberg Children Fund, 15456 Ventura Boulevard, Suite 30, Sherman Oaks, California, 91405. I'm Scott Bakula, and you're watching a special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. In his many leaps through time, Dr. Sam Beckett ran into some weird situations, but nothing more unusual than the one you're about to see. Do you believe in flying saucers, little green men? Whether you do or not, I think you'll enjoy this close encounter with Quantum Leap. In this episode we called Starlight, Star Bright. In this episode, you'll see my character Sam wail on the guitar like he was Jimi Hendrix. Well, I play the guitar, but not that well. It was one more skill I had to practice during lunch breaks during the filming of Quantum Leap. I'll let you in on an inside joke. In this episode, we see Sam dragged off to a mental hospital. Well, that asylum is actually the entrance to Belisarius Productions, the offices of Quantum Leap's creator, Donald Belisario. I think Don would agree that our shooting schedule had a lot in common with the sanitarium. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Scott Bakula. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Channel's Quantum Leap Marathon. Of all the characters I portrayed on Quantum Leap, this one is perhaps my favorite. I really enjoyed playing the character of Jimmy LaMotta, a mentally challenged boy who's caught in a deadly family conflict. We all learned a lot from my friend Brad Silverman, the real-life young man with Down syndrome who plays Jimmy in the mirror sequence. This story's got action, drama, and even romance. This is the show we introduce Aaliyah, my beautiful time-traveling nemesis. And when we touch, well, the sparks literally fly. In this episode, Dean Stockwell gets quite a workout as my sidekick Al. Because Al appears only as a hologram, filming his scenes was always tricky. Plus, they were scenes with Dean. Holograms aren't supposed to cast shadows. Their hair can't blow in the wind. And you definitely can't bump into them. Every scene with Al was a blend of choreography and special effects. And this episode contains some of the best as our Quantum Leap Marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Welcome back to the Sci-Fi Channel's Quantum Leap Marathon. I'm your host, Scott Bakula. We're about to show you a trilogy of episodes that were unlike anything we'd done before. These episodes are a favorite with a lot of fans. They're a clever blend of drama, murder mystery, and a love story. Sam makes 3 leaps into the same town over a span of 23 years, each time as a different person. We really get to know these characters and understand the impact Sam's involvement has in their lives. And now, part 1 of the trilogy. Because this 3-part trilogy tells such an intricate story, Sam and Al are especially dependent on Ziggy, Sam's computer back at Project Quantum Leap. Ziggy keeps tabs on historical details and quotes the odds as to whether we can change history. You'll notice Al holding that hand link that communicates with Ziggy. Dean Stockwell went through quite a few of them because he kept beating the hell out of them until they broke. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues with part 1 of Trilogy here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Trilogy is the only 3-part Quantum Leap, and it's a favorite with our fans. You're watching part 1, but stay with us. Parts 2 and 3 are coming up as our special marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Scott Bakula. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Channel's Quantum Leap Marathon and to part 2 of Trilogy. In this 3-parter, Sam Beckett leaps into 3 different people over a span of 23 years. As Quantum Leap fans know, when Sam leaps into someone, he takes on their appearance, but not any of their physical disabilities. He's able-bodied, even if they're sick and weak. But when the mind and heart are involved, the rules are not so clear. For example, you'll notice that Sam stutters when he leaps into the body of Deputy Will Kinman. But stammering is the least of Sam's problems in this romantic murder mystery. You're watching part 2 of the 3-part trilogy. A rare chance for Quantum Leap fans to follow the same characters over many years and to see firsthand how Sam Beckett changes their lives. Our Quantum Leap marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Why can a mental patient like Laura Fuller see Al in his hologram form? Well, devoted Quantum Leap fans have cooked up many explanations. But I think the truest answer is artistic license. Don says so. After all, literature is full of stories of children, animals, and other innocent characters who can see things that ordinary people can't. But the fact that Laura can see Al is crucial to our story as our Quantum Leap marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Channel's Quantum Leap Marathon and to the 3rd of a 3-part trilogy. I'm Scott Bakula. You're about to see the exciting conclusion of a romantic murder mystery that spans 23 years in the same town. I mentioned that this 3-part episode is a favorite with Quantum Leap fans, and let me tell you about these fans. They're the most loyal supporters that any television series ever had. Twice they saved us from cancellation. And several years later, they continue to hold lively Quantum Leap conventions around the world, which Dean Stockwell and I do our best to attend. Right now, part 3 of Trilogy, here on the Sci-Fi Channel. In this episode, Sam has leaped into the life of a lawyer, which I enjoyed. My own dad is a lawyer, and I was a pre-law major myself. That is, until I got a taste of the theater. Our Quantum Leap marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Many Quantum Leap fans consider this 3-part trilogy to be their all-time favorite. We're about to enjoy the exciting conclusion as our Quantum Leap marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Scott Bakula, and welcome to this special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. As an actor, Quantum Leap was quite a challenge. I played a different role every week, interacting with a new cast of characters. With our ambitious production schedule, we were lucky to get our script the night before. Naturally, I felt I didn't have quite enough to do. That's why I wanted to direct a few episodes as well. You're about to see one of them. It's called The Promised Land. And in this story, Sam leaps back to his own hometown. It's an interesting story with an especially touching ending. See if you agree as our Quantum Leap Marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. On Quantum Leap, my character, Sam Beckett, is a pretty talented guy. A certified child prodigy, he went to MIT at 15. At 19, he played the piano at Carnegie Hall. He speaks 7 languages, has 6 doctorates, and a Nobel Prize. Time magazine called him the next Einstein. As an actor, the challenge in playing such a genius isn't his abilities, it's in making Sam seem well-rounded. You know, the sort of genius you'd like to have a beer with. I'm Scott Bakula, and welcome to this special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Like it says at the beginning of each Quantum Leap, Sam Beckett is assisted in his time travel adventures by his friend Al, who appears in the form of a hologram. And only Sam can see him, right? Well, not entirely. As Quantum Leap fans know, some mental patients can see Al, so can many animals, and so can young children. According to Al, it's because they're in a natural alpha state. To put it another way, it's because they're innocent and pure. Nothing like the character I'm about to leap into in an episode called A Tale of Two Sweeties. In this episode, the smart aleck character, Martin Jr., is played by Michael Bellisario, the son of our producer, Don. Hey, that's nothing. Check out the credits sometime. At Bellisario's Productions, television is the family business. As Marty Elroy, Sam has one wife too many. Fortunately, Al is full of marital advice, and he ought to know. As Quantum Leap fans know, Al's been married 5 times. Our Quantum Leap marathon continues. I'm Scott Bakula, and welcome to the special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Because Sam Beckett leaps into a different life every week, I had to learn a lot of unusual skills. I learned to rope a moving steer. I got popped a few times practicing to be a boxer. I fought off motion sickness while on a trapeze. And the first time I ever rode a big forked Harley, it was with Melrose Place's Josie Bissett on the handlebars. But one of the toughest assignments was learning how to walk in high heels. It's a necessary skill for this next episode, in which Sam becomes an early member of the women's movement. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues with Liberation. Sam Beckett's leaps through time made him a participant in much of our recent history. He was part of the Watts riots, the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Vietnam War, and in this episode, the women's movement. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues. If Margaret's abusive husband, George, looks familiar to you, you may recognize him from a far friendlier role. He's Max Gale, also known as Detective Wojciechowicz on Barney Miller. I'm Scott Bakula, and welcome to this special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Ever have a question about sex? Well, what could be better than asking Dr. Ruth Westheimer? How about actually becoming Dr. Ruth? Kind of a dream come true, huh? Well, I had the chance to do just that, as Sam Beckett, of course. It was an education for Sam, and even more so for Al, who makes some innovative use of the Quantum Leap waiting room, grilling the good doctor for tips on his love life. I can report that Dr. Ruth was a great sport, as you'll see for yourself as our Quantum Leap Marathon continues. On Quantum Leap, we use something Don Belisario called A Kiss with History, a part of the story where something Sam Beckett does directly influences the course of recent events. That happens in this episode when a young lawyer listens intently to Sam's, that is, Dr. Ruth's, strong views about sexual harassment. That lawyer turns out to be Anita Hill. I enjoyed that kind of dramatic license. It lets you look at real-life events in a fresh new way. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Scott Bakula, and welcome to this special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. When Sam Beckett leaps into someone's life, he looks just like that person to everyone who meets him. And that's just who Sam sees when he looks in a mirror. But what if Sam looks at his reflection and sees nothing at all? As a Nobel Prize-winning scientist, Sam would look for the answers. But in good science fiction, there are some things that just can't be explained. As we're about to find out, our Quantum Leap Marathon continues with Blood Moon. In this story, Sam isn't surprised that Al believes that vampires exist. But even Sam's scientific view of reality is about to be tested as our Quantum Leap Marathon continues. Do you recognize the actor playing Victor? He's Ian Buchanan, known for playing unusual characters in General Hospital and Twin Peaks. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Welcome to this special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. I'm Scott Bakula, and I played Dr. Sam Beckett. When Sam first stepped into his acceleration chamber, he began a long, fantastic adventure, and a very lonely one. After all, who else could understand what it's like to leap through time from one life to another? That's why it was so intriguing when our writers created another leaper, Sam's female counterpart. And to raise the ante, they made her a villain. They've only met once, but now Sam gets a rematch with his irresistible nemesis in Return of the Evil Leaper. The actor playing Mike ought to look pretty familiar. He's Neil Patrick Harris. Neil welcomed the chance to play a character so strikingly different from Doogie Howser, M.D. As all true Quantum Leap fans know, Al and Sam are able to keep in touch because they're connected by their brainwaves. Al appears as a hologram that only Sam can see and hear, but he's actually back at Project Quantum Leap in the imaging chamber. Sam and Al always wondered if they were the only ones sent back in time to set things right. But until this episode, they were never sure. You'll see the mystery resolved as we continue with Return of the Evil Leaper here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Welcome to this special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. We all know that Sam is able to leap again through time only when he sets things right in the life he occupies. But right from the very first leap, Sam and Al have wondered who is in control of Sam's journey. Who decides where and when Sam will land? Some people have chalked it up to God, fate, or time itself, but nobody really knows for certain. But if Sam is a force for good, then his nemesis, Aaliyah, represents the other side. Aaliyah is the evil leaper in the title of the last episode and this one. But sometimes opposites attract, and we're about to see in the revenge of the evil leaper. A lot of talented people have worked behind the scenes on Quantum Leap. This episode was directed by Debbie Allen, famous as a dancer, choreographer, and director. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. The actor portraying the evil Thames is Hinton Battle, a 3-time Tony Award winner, most recently for Miss Saigon. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Susan Griffith makes a convincing Marilyn Monroe. Maybe that's because she studied the role before to play Marilyn in a TV movie. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues. Our Marilyn Monroe looked like $1 million wearing that towel. But at a recent charity auction, someone actually paid $3,500 for a towel I wore on Murphy Brown. Amazing. My Quantum Leap colleague, Dean Stockwell, was honored on February 29, 1992, with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Usually, those Walk of Fame ceremonies take place weekdays, but Dean's fans convinced the committee to hold the ceremony on Leap Day, which fell on a Saturday that year. Dean was moved by yet another gesture from his fans. Knowing Dean's commitment to the environment, they held recycling drives to raise money to sponsor his star. I'm Scott Bakula. Welcome to the special Quantum Leap Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Everyone knows fans are what keeps a show alive, and Quantum Leap fans are still out there as strong as ever, even though the show is no longer in production. To this day, fans would like to see new episodes of Quantum Leap made, and maybe a movie. There are conventions held all over the country. The internet and other online services are used daily to connect fans all over the world. I have a strong feeling we haven't seen the last of Quantum Leap. After all, stranger things have happened, like what you're about to see in an episode entitled The Beast Within. This episode was written by John D'Aquino, who went on to work on Sequest DSV. John also guest starred on 2 episodes of Quantum Leap, making this the only episode ever written by a guest star. As you see, Sam's training as a doctor helped him improvise a natural remedy to help Roy until they could get his real medication. And I can tell you, Sam's had to get pretty good at improvising. Our Quantum Leap Marathon continues. I'm Scott Bakula. Thank you for watching our Quantum Leap Year Marathon here on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's been my pleasure to be your host. I'll look forward to seeing you soon in another time and perhaps another life.